Topps did the right thing by pricing its new basketball product at a collector-friendly low price. But flippers said not so fast, my friend. They got a hold of the product, they more than doubled the price, and have been selling it all over the secondary market. What can be done to limit flippers and ensure that collectors can buy boxes at reasonable prices? We'll debate next. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another episode of Cards on the Table. Teapot, lovely to see you.
Thank you.
And Haley, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My first time.
We are happy to have Slab Mania here with us, and also one of our popular breakers on Cards HQ Breaks and whatnot.
That's right.
Welcome. All right, guys. Well, we got to dive into this first topic. Teapot, we can't have nice things.
No.
The hobby collectors, Haley, can't have nice things. Because when a company does something with good intentions to try to help out the collector community, it kind of reverses and maybe backfires in certain ways. And that is what has happened with the pre-sale of the brand new Topps basketball. Now, a lot of people are excited about Topps getting the official NBA license. That just happened. You know, they got it from Panini after Panini had it for many years. And Topps' first officially licensed NBA product is coming out. Topps flagship NBA basketball 2025 is coming out on October the 23rd, a couple of weeks from now. It's their first product, by the way, officially licensed basketball product in 15 years, 16 years.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal, right? And there's a lot of collectors really excited. So Topps obviously thought to themselves, let's make a positive splash with the collector community from the beginning. We're going to put hobby boxes out at pre-sale for $109 a hobby box, which I think that's a pretty reasonable price for hobby boxes, especially when you compare that to what a lot of Panini's hobby boxes have been priced at retail for the last several years. Topps coming out at $109 for a hobby box for their first release of Topps basketball feels pretty good to me. Jumbo boxes, $229. They put these last Friday, they put them up for pre-sale on their website. They sold out very quickly. Within a couple of minutes, they were all sold out. And it appears, maybe not surprisingly, that a lot of people who bought them were flippers. Because the second the pre-sale ended, guess what? Tons of these started getting posted to eBay. And the prices started escalating as people started going to eBay to buy up more and more boxes. Wouldn't you know it, those $109 hobby boxes, they're now selling on eBay for around $225. We've more than doubled the price of those, some even higher. And those $229 jumbo boxes on the pre-sale, they're going to set you back $450. No longer sounds like as good of a price as what we were rolling out the gate with. Now look, there's a lot of good content in these boxes. You've got the first Victor Wembanyama licensed Spurs autographs ever. You've got LeBron James, signing licensed autographs on Lakers cards. You've got Cooper Flagg. Obviously, everyone's going to be chasing Cooper Flagg in this product. And so you got Cooper Flagg's first official licensed rookie cards in this product. And they've also put together quite the checklist of veterans like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Allen Iverson who have cards in the product. So there's a lot of stuff for people to chase. There's also pretty high print runs of this product as well, which has been reported on other channels. But, the idea of having this product as the kickoff at a reasonable price with all of those good cards to chase, it seemed like the perfect moment for collectors, but now that the flippers and the secondary market's gotten a hold of it, Teapot, it feels like maybe not such a great moment anymore. What can be done? Is there anything that can be done to stop that madness and to let collectors actually get hobby boxes at reasonable prices?
There might be one thing. Here's what I'll say. The price gap increase does not surprise me at all. I would have seen this coming. I did see this coming from a million miles away. Like we see this with so many products. Even if Topps had released this at $200, it might be at $275 or $280 now on the secondary market. There's just this initial grab of the supply, and then the people who are like, I've got to have it. And it seems like it's stabilized at the $220, $230 range for these hobby boxes. that price doesn't surprise me at all. One thing that I think they maybe could have done is go more of that EQL route where they do the lottery. And the problem is, like, for somebody like me and probably so many others, like, I'm in a meeting when this drop happens, and I can't be like, hey, Jeff, just a minute. Let me make sure I get my boxes ordered in the middle of this, right? So that's a problem. These things happen in like the middle of the day or in the morning or some point.
And it sells out.
It sells out right away.
Right away.
Now, I will see a lot of kudos were given for the stability of Topps website compared to Panini, when that would crash all the time and people would try to go after these things. But it's nothing new, and it's why I think people yelling and shaking their fists at the manufacturers every year is a bit misguided. Like, people are always talking about, oh, the boxes are too expensive. Well, like you said, here Topps did something. They released it at a reasonable price, quote unquote, and the secondary market and the scalpers just go after it. So I would like to see a system where, for at least certain like flagship type products like this, you sign up for a membership and then you get some runway, right? 2 weeks, a month, something where, even if it's just a week, where you get to just put in your order, like prepay for your order, and then they just give it to you. It doesn't even need to happen in one big drop. You just get a chance, like a 1 week runway, and then go do your public launch or something like that where you can do this. I would have bought a box of this at $109, or probably a few, knowing that the price was going to go up. One thing I think worth pointing out, pack odds overall on this, you mentioned print runs, little better than baseball Series 1, which I'm really surprised by. Like, I thought the print runs on this would be nutty because this is the first year and there's going to be demand. So rainbow foil boards, which are the non-numbered basic shiny rainbow foils, those are 1 in 11 packs in both Series 1 baseball this year and this basketball release. Wood parallels to 25, 1 in 3,336 in baseball versus 2,387. The foil fractor 1 of 1s, about 1 in 19,000 versus 1 in 17,000 in basketball. And then the golden mirrors, which I think are going to be really of interest to people, 1 in 600 in baseball, 1 in about 400 in the basketball products. So I'm really excited about this release. I'm really excited to see the product, see it on the secondary market, see us breaking it here. And I would say when Topps Chrome comes out, just brace yourselves. I think hobby boxes are going to be $700-800 plus for those minimum for a first year release of Chrome in the last 16, 17 years.
I hope not. I think they may be.
I think it's going
not.
to be.
I hope Topps finds a way to get them in collectors' hands.
And I think if they put them at $350 or something on their site, you should probably try to get one because they're going to go way up.
Yeah.
Haley, you're probably going to be breaking a lot of this product.
Yeah.
I imagine you're excited about the release.
Very excited, yeah.
But what about these prices? Is there anything that can be done?
I mean, so kind of going off of what you guys are saying, I think Topps really did hit it out of the park doing a very collector-friendly price at the drop. I really liked what you said, Teapot, about, if there was a way Topps could expand a window for a chance for people, for collectors that love the hobby, that aren't just looking for a quick flip, to be able to have a certain amount of time in that window to get the boxes for the love of collecting. I think the price point at the drop was amazing, but now that we're seeing on eBay, they're already flipping. It's just going to get harder and harder for, kids or, people who aren't in it for the money, just for the collecting aspect, to be able to get a box. In terms of, what could be done, I think, Teapot, you kind of hit it on the head there with maybe just a window expanding for time for people to get it.
They did that. They did that for Fanatics Fest products, right? So I bought a box of like that Travis Scott product at Fanatics Fest, and then they had the Big Apple Topps Chrome cards at Fanatics Fest, and that was the format they used, where you had like a window, multiple days in which you could put in your orders, and then they did a lottery, and then they notified you if you had won the lottery, and then you had a certain amount of time to actually put in your credit card information or maybe you put your credit card information in advance. I think maybe it checked you out automatically if you won. But it did feel a little more fair. I agree with you that it's really tough to get everyone to go to the website at noon on a Friday when people are in meetings or doing whatever. And also that people in different time zones, who knows how that hits everybody. But the only other thing I can think of is I really did like that double-blind Dutch auction format that Josh Luber of StockX tried to pioneer in the sports card hobby. And he got Topps to do it with him once. Back in, I think, 2021, they did Bowman Chrome X, which was a collaboration with StockX, and they put out the product on this double-blind Dutch auction. And what that means is that you can go in as a collector and specify how many boxes you want to buy and what price you were willing to pay. You set your own price. So I could say, I'm willing to pay up to $110. I'm willing to pay up to $180 or $220. And then what Topps they'll say, hey, we've got, let's say 10,000 boxes allocated for the pre-order. And then they essentially take the 10,000 top bids. But the big difference between that and like the normal Dutch auction that Panini's run for the last few years is whatever the lowest of those 10,000 bids is what everybody pays. So even if you bid $1,000, if the 10,000th person bid $180, then all 10,000 people who get a box pay $180.
Yeah.
But the person who bid $179, who is in 10,000th and 1st place, they don't get a box.
Okay.
So what it does is it kind of helps set the market value, in my opinion, in a fair way that gives everybody equal access to it, and it also ensures that nobody's overpaying. Because everybody who gets a box pays the same price. There's none of this like we're buying it at this price and marking it up and flipping it at this price. And it also helps curb flipping some because everybody got it at what then is kind of presumed to be the market value. It's almost like the market value is set when it's being released, as opposed to it then being set on the secondary market at a later time.
Yeah.
I don't know. If Topps is listening, I'd like you to try it.
I just thought of one other idea, and this would be interesting with hobby shops. And not everybody has access to a hobby shop. When you go to the National and you buy boxes from anybody selling boxes there, David Adams, anybody, and then you bring them to the Topps booth, you can get your redemptions right. And what do? They slice it open so that they know it's redeemed, right? What if there was a scenario where Topps partners with their hobby shop network and their approved dealers, and they say, in addition to the regular allocation we've already committed to you that we're going to give you so that you can sell them at the normal, whatever secondary market price is, we also want to give you this much additional allocation that we're not going to do through our website. We're going to funnel it down to our hobby shops. And for the first day, for release day, when people come into your shop, they have an opportunity to buy one box at $109, and you slice it open. No selling on the secondary market. You are buying it as a collector because you want to rip it. Interesting.
I really like that idea.
I think it's an interesting idea.
I think Teapot just came up with some golden idea there.
I think it could help.
So too.
Okay, Topps. If you're listening, do that. That's a really good idea.
Thank you.
There you go.
Once in a while.
Teapot for
Teapot.
president.
Yes.
Teapot for president of the hobby.
Yep.
Let's go. Awesome. You know what else is a great idea? Ripping Arena Club slab packs is a great idea, especially now, because guys, check this out. Arena Club is doing a special Easter egg hunt where they have put a card that is worth almost $100,000, a 2003, 2004 exquisite Michael Jordan patch auto card. This card is going to be hidden in one special Arena Club pack. It's going to, at first, tonight, you have a chance of hitting it if you open up one of their gold basketball packs. A $100 pack, you got a chance at hitting the $100,000 card. If nobody hits it, then they'll eventually move it to a different pack, and then a different pack, and then eventually somebody will hit this card. Stay tuned to Arena Club on social. Make sure to follow them on social. So we've gone ahead and ripped a couple of those $100 basketball packs to see if we get the $100,000 Michael Jordan card. You ready to go?
Let's go.
Okay, all right. Let's go, Rob. Let's show Teapot's. Teapot ripped a couple of these here. What did Teapot get in his first one? Bring it up here. Okay.
Jalen Williams, red.
Jalen Williams, red-rated rookie.
Rated rookie.
Good player.
I like Jalen Williams a
Good
lot.
player.
Yeah.
He's
All right.
really good.
All right. And
Underrated.
one more.
Oh, MJ.
Speaking
we
of Michael
go.
Jordan.
MJ. PSA 9, tongue out.
That's not the $100,000 card, but it is the Michael Jordan. And guys, these
That's
packs,
my childhood, though.
These are the gold packs. They're only $100 for these packs. I ripped a couple here. Let me get my first one up here.
Ooh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's a nice LeBron
Cool
card. That's
photo.
a 10.
That's a nice one.
I'm glad you got
2023
that and
Prism
not me.
Fractal Silver in a 10. That's pretty cool. I like that. What else do we get here?
Zach.
Okay. Zach Edey in a
PSA
10.
10.
That's his Hoop Space rookie, PSA 10, Zach Edey. Did you rip any Haley?
I did not.
You,
Not
okay.
yet, yeah.
All right. We're going to get Haley the opportunity. We'll let you rip it. Now that we didn't hit the
Now it's up to Haley to hit
$100,000
it.
card,
Yep.
it's up to Haley to hit. But
If
we'll
you
let
do, you have to stay here, though.
That's right.
You can't just
I got
like,
this, guys. Don't
quit.
worry.
Well,
Don't
all right,
worry.
you get
I'll
it
hit
for
It's
us.
all
You get
right.
it for us. But just in case Haley doesn't hit it, maybe you want your own chance of hitting it, and you want to use promo code SCI because that's going to get you 20% off your first slab pack purchase at Arena Club. Just go to arenaclub.com or download the Arena Club app. Promo code SCI for 20% off. All right, guys, let's jump into our next story. This one. So, we were just talking about Topps basketball, this big deal, this big release coming out. Well, there's a couple of people who didn't get invited to the party. Luka Doncic did not get invited to the party. Luka does not have cards in the new Topps basketball release. I originally saw this on Neo Cards and Comics. He figured it out because one of his viewers commented, hey, did you notice that Luka is not in the checklist? Then our team here at Sports Card Investor went through the checklist and noticed Zion is missing from the checklist as well. There is no Luka. There is no Zion. Might be other players missing as well, but those are just two that we noticed. Now, we don't know exactly why they're missing. Some have speculated that Luka signed an exclusive trading card deal with Panini. That is documented back in, I think, 2021. And so some have speculated that that deal is still active, and somehow that deal is preventing Luka from being in this product at all, which is a little surprising to me because I thought that once Topps got the official license with the Players Association and the league, that they got access to everybody. So I didn't realize that a player could opt out from that. So I don't totally know what's going on there, but he's not in the checklist. Zion's not in the checklist. I reached out to Topps for comment, and Topps came back and said, we are not going to comment on this topic. Teapot, what does this mean to you? And how big of a deal is this? Does this take some of the luster away from the new Topps basketball?
It's definitely an interesting discovery. I guess we have to wait and see what happens. If it's just this product, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We've already seen secondary market prices soaring for this product with or without Luka and Zion. If it's every product for the foreseeable future for the 2025-26 season, it's kind of a big deal. He's not a rookie. It's not like if they couldn't get Cooper Flagg or something, but we're talking about one of the top 5 most collected veteran players in the NBA right now. His market speaks for itself. Zion, he needs he has a little comeback to do. But he still is collected. There's still people who like to chase his cards. So it's interesting. The two players who moved the hobby the most, and I mean the hobby, not just basketball cards, the sports card hobby, are Luka and Zion. They got it all started back in 18 and 19.
They did.
And now they're not in Topps products. So I don't know. Something funky's going on. I, like you, would have thought, Players Association, come on over. There's something weird going on here. Maybe Lulu's mom can sign for him while he's out.
I'm sure there's already people in the comments, by the way, criticizing you for saying that Luka and Zion were the two who got sports cards going and put them on the map.
In 18 and 19.
I think there might be some Mickey Mantle collectors who want to disagree with you there. I don't know, Teapot. I don't know. But point taken. Haley, you're going to be breaking this product a lot on Cards HQ Breaks, I'm sure, Cards HQ Hoops. Are you disappointed by this? I guess it makes the Lakers not as fun of a chase anymore. But of course, they still do have LeBron and Bronny and others. But what are your thoughts?
From a breaker standpoint, a basketball lover, a collector lover, it's disappointing not seeing Luka in it, who is such an iconic basketball player. Just like you said, Jeff, it does take that chase away from the Lakers. But luckily, they have LeBron as a signer. Or even if they did maybe a throwback card of Luka still in his Mavs uniform, that could have been a chase for the Mavs too.
Oh, that's a good point.
But they still have Cooper Flagg as a chase for the Mavs. So not having Luka in the product, I think, is a big disappointment for collectors and breakers, wanting to chase that card. But also it's still, having LeBron, having Cooper for both of those teams, it still gives you something to chase. But big miss, though, not having Luka. Big miss.
It's a good point, though. As a breaker, you think about the construct of every team.
Correct.
Because players get teams and breaks. And so you're right that if Luka was on a different team without another star, it would be an even bigger deal. Him being on the Lakers, you do have LeBron. Him throwback cards would have been on the Mavs. They do have Cooper Flagg. So, that is covered a little bit. But, I was looking forward to seeing if they were going to do a LeBron-Luka dual auto. That's what I was excited. I was excited about that possibility, and obviously we're not going to get that. So, at least not now. And as you said, Teapot, I don't know how long this is going to last for. Hopefully it's just like this product, and we'll start seeing him in the future, but I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see what the checklist looks like for future Topps products this year. All right, guys, let's jump into some grading numbers. This one is juicy. We got juicy. SGC grading is collapsing from a grading numbers standpoint. CGC is rising like a phoenix out of the ashes right now. It's pretty wild to see. Now on the SGC side, not a huge surprise. Their president, Peter, left a few months ago. The leadership at Collectors, which of course owns PSA, They also own SGC. The leadership said that they're going to reposition SGC as a boutique grader, and they were going to return to their pre-COVID levels, which kind of was the warning sign to everybody. Their grading numbers are probably going to start dropping, and dropping they have been. So last month we saw SGC grade 60,000 cards. That is their lowest in a month since July of 2022. So it's their lowest total in over 3 years, and it's down 49% month over month compared to the month before. So their grading numbers are doing like that. At the same time, CGC seems to be going in the opposite direction. CGC graded 505,000 cards last month. That is up 248% year over year. A lot of that growth came from Pokemon and TCG submissions. And CGC seems like they want to take advantage of the moment. They have announced that they are going to be expanding internationally. They're going to have offices in London, Munich, Dubai, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Wow. Munich will soon add full-time on-site grading and will serve as CGC's key European hub. Of course, PSA recently announced they're going to be grading in Frankfurt, Germany. So you got to battle now the German cities over who's grading all these cards over there for Europe. But it's interesting that while SGC is fading away, maybe CGC sees this as their opportunity to pounce. T-Paul, what's the bigger news? SGC falling or CGC rising?
Well, both work together. I think the fact that CGC was up 168% month over month for sports cards is possibly the biggest story.
Okay.
They've had a really strong market share for TCG. It's basically PSA and CGC for TCG for the most part. But the fact that they're gaining ground on sports cards, they're up 638% year over year for sports cards.
Wow.
From August to August, or September to September, I should say. So PSA was actually down 4% year over year on sports cards for the same month. And then SGC down 59% year over year. So the sports card piece is what I'm really interested in. We know TCG, it's a viable option. Secondary market value wouldn't tell you that right now. There is probably no bigger price gap in any of cards at any point in Ultra Modern anywhere right now than PSA 10 to CGC 10 for 2 gem mint grades in Pokemon in particular. But now that it's still like PSA at 7 times what CGC did for sports cards, they're still gaining ground. They're gaining ground. They're gaining market share. Another thing that's interesting to me was Beckett actually being up 87% year over year in TCG. So I think that's a testament to the fact that people are chasing black labels. Pokemon cards have had a much higher black label rate than sports cards historically have. So people are chasing after those. But CGC failing is a big deal. It's kind of sad. It just makes you sad. Peter's exit was sad, and then this whole situation is sad. It seems like they are trying to slowly choke them out and kill them, not keep them as a boutique grading company, but time will tell. I also wonder what their backlog is. Like, how many are there waiting to be graded, or did people just really just say, I'm not sending there anymore?
It's odd that it just switched so quickly, didn't it? I don't know. Haley, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's, hearing Teapot, your stats on all that, very interesting. I mean, grading is obviously so popular now with the sports card hobby. And you take a company like SGC that was very dominant with, sports cards if people didn't want to go the PSA route, and CGC with very popular with TCG now that's rising. And now, what was this that you said about the sports cards now with CGC?
Yeah, they're just a big increase. Yeah.
I mean,
giant.
Yeah, thinking of a company like CGC that was primarily used for TCG, and now they're exploding in the sports card market.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that statistic alone just kind of says everything about it.
Yeah.
Look, they have to see opportunity. It's like, I like PSA. There's a lot of mixed feelings about PSA. People in the comments are always, hating on PSA. I personally think PSA does a lot of things well. Maybe not perfect, but well. But I also think that competition is good in a lot of industries. In any industry, competition is helpful. And PSA kind of has had no competition, really, for the last couple of years. They're the dominant big-time player by far. So CGC gaining ground will probably put a little bit of pressure on PSA. They'll see CGC's numbers going up. And while they're nowhere near their stature yet, in the sports card market especially, PSA will take notice, and that will probably force PSA to continue to innovate and work on their turnaround times and work on their pricing and all those types of things, which are good for collectors. So I think a little bit of competitive pressure can be a positive, and I hope that competitive pressure just makes the entire entire industry better.
The international growth is interesting. I think that's
Yeah.
smart on their part, really smart, and I would be pushing hard into soccer cards, trying to get that market share while they can.
Yeah, interesting stuff. It's been interesting watching how all of that has been growing. All right, let's get into our final story of the day. We don't cover a lot of trading card game topics on this show. This is, after all, a sports card show, but this one I think you're going to be interested in, but we do have to bring in one of our TCG experts. Oh, look, we got Nick on this set. Where did Haley go, by the way? Where's Haley?
Yeah,
what happened to Haley? She just disappeared?
Yep.
Did you do like a magic trick and make Haley disappear?
That's a great question, but I cannot reveal my secrets, Jeff.
All right. Well, what you can hopefully do, Nick, by the way, Nick is our TCG event coordinator here at Cards HQ, also the star of another YouTube channel called TCG HQ. You guys should really go watch that. In fact, I was on the episode before last with Nick learning how to play Star Wars Unlimited.
I'm bummed I didn't get to kick your butt.
I know. I'm bummed that you didn't kick my butt. Nick and I had a fun time teaching the audience what it's like to play Star Wars Unlimited. So if you have any interest in trading card games, we'll put a link to the YouTube below and hopefully on the screen here somewhere as well. Go check out the TCG HQ channel on YouTube. But Nick, what I wanted to talk to both you guys today was this new Dwight from The Office Magic the Gathering set. And I know we got some fans out here watching that are fans of The Office, but this struck my attention. So I'm not a huge TCG guy myself, even though, goodness, we have a lot of TCG super popular here, inside Cards HQ. But I saw this story and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So the story is that Wizards of the Coast announced a new Secret Lair crossover drop. This is titled Dwight's Destiny, and it features The Office's Dwight Schrute in card art as part of this year's Halloween-themed Secret Scare Super Drop. So he has, I believe, 6 different cards in this, and basically these are Magic the Gathering cards that Dwight has essentially taken over. These cards, and they're special cards. So I saw this. I didn't know if this was like a collector thing only, if people were gonna want to buy these cards just because they're cool and they like The Office, or if these things actually could be used in games. Nick, fill me in on what is going on here.
Sure, yeah. So to try and translate what the product type is, a Secret Lair is Topps Now. That's what the product is. So this is something that you order exclusively through the Wizards of the Coast Secret Lair website. This specific drop is part of a larger drop, and this is normally how Secret Lairs are handled. The idea is that you have maybe 10 different options of different card packs that all have the same guaranteed 6 cards, plus 1 mystery card that could potentially be something extremely limited. And we typically don't know what that bonus card is until well after the Secret Lair is released. This specific one has Dwight. It also has a Furby Secret Lair. It also has a bunch of other featured artists that drew a bunch of different cards that are exclusive to this Secret Lair drop for Halloween. And they do a ton of these a year. Normally in a calendar year, since they started them, Secret Lairs as a product has been going on for about 5 years now. Typically they do around 50 to 60 Secret Lairs a year. That's including not only the ones that they release on the website, it also includes cards that are released as exclusive prizing for high-level events that are labeled as Secret Lair cards, as well as Secret Lairs that are given exclusively to WPN stores like Cards HQ so that they can sell them in store to their customer. This one in particular, I was actually at the event that they announced this at, MagicCon Atlanta, last weekend. And the really exciting part about this one is it shows an even further investment that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro is making in diversifying the brand of Magic the Gathering as it pertains to including IPs like Furby and The Office that otherwise wouldn't have any place in Magic the Gathering. So that's kind of the best way that I can equate it to, what we're doing here. We get Secret Lairs on the shelves. The best way to think about it is this is an exclusive limited drop, as it were, that you can only get through Wizards directly, and then immediately all of the product goes on the secondary market.
I had no idea about any of this. This is all interesting news to me. Teapot, are you going to be getting your Dwight cards in this special drop, and then are you going to show up here inside Cards HQ and try to use those in games?
No, well, I'm not going to use them. I'm sticking to one, and I was not a TCG player before this last year, and then when Star Wars Unlimited, came out, I finally took the plunge and have been kind of hooked on that. It's a lot of fun. So I would say for anybody who's not a TCG player but likes one of these IPs, give it a shot. It's really fun. It's easy to get started. I will say seeing Dwight holding up a giant beat called Swords to Plowshares, as well as like a Ninja Star, I could see those being on my shelf at home in a one-touch, just, christening the shelves with some of the other quirky stuff that I have. I'm a big Office fan. It's a hilarious show, and Dwight's, probably one of my favorite characters from the show, if not my favorite. So it's a cool thing. It's definitely weird seeing them, you can play these cards in other decks.
Can you play them, Nick?
Yes.
Can people play them in tournaments and
Yes.
stuff?
These are fully playable cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them are typically Secret Lair cards are very popular cards in the Commander format, which is the most popular way to play Magic the Gathering right now.
Yeah.
It's a very casual format, and a lot of these cards, particularly the Swords to Plowshare cards you just mentioned, as well as the Hey King Dwight Schrute card, which is a reskin of Heliod's Suncrowned, those two are very popular in the Commander format, which to me points to those two cards having the best resale value following this product's launch, as well as the most playability at our Commander tables on Friday night.
You play like some kind of a ghoul, followed by a SpongeBob, a Furby, and a Dwight Schrute.
I mean, you're the king if you do that.
It's getting wild.
You're the king. It's getting wild here inside the Cards HQ. All right, well, Nick, thank you for the update on all of that. That's interesting stuff. And guys, if you want to learn more about all kinds of different TCG topics, don't forget to check out the brand new YouTube channel, TCG HQ, produced by our team here at Sports Card Investor. Once again, the link is below. We'll put the link on the screen as well. And don't forget to get your Arena Club slab packs with 20% off. Chase that Jordan Exquisite card. Promo code SCI for 20% off. Download the Arena Club app, promo code SCI. Thanks for watching Cards on the Table. We'll see you soon with our next one. Take care.